Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Today, we continue Naruto Rebirth, Cycle of Hatred. What if Sasuke got the Rinnegan earlier? Part 6. As always, if you're new to the channel, or if you're a regular and like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Where we last left off with this series, we covered the events of the Kazekage rescue arc, where Sasuke and the members of Team 7 worked to save Gaara the Kazekage from the hands of the Akatsuki. Now, as we go into the Tenchi Bridge arc, we see as things take a change in a number of different ways, as Sasuke is confronted with some of the same trials he faced in the original story. But how will his mindset change now that the Rinnegan has in essence rebirthed him into something entirely different? Will this Sasuke still be consumed by his hatred, by his vendetta? Or will he be able to overcome and become something even greater than before? For all this and more, stay tuned as we now continue. Naruto Rebirth, Cycle of Hatred. What if Sasuke got the Rinnegan earlier? Part 6. As always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. For Team 7, the time they had was reduced. After completing their mission in the Hidden Sand Village and arriving back to the Hidden Leaf, Kakashi would be enlisted into the infirmary, his body suffering from the overusage of the Mangekyo Sharingan. Even with his improved training and stamina, even he had his limits, and Sasuke was aware of this. But what were they going to do now? They had already lost some time, and they only had 6 days until the meeting at Tenchi Bridge. Tsunade had to figure out what she was going to do next. Of course, Team 7 wanted to go, but even she had her reservations. Of course, all the members of Team 7 were powerful and strong in their own right, but to meet with the potential spy of Orochimaru and the Akatsuki, there were so many risks, so many things she couldn't account for. But at the same time, she knew she couldn't treat them as children forever. Sasuke was a Jonin, Karin a respected Chunin. While Naruto still had the rank of Genin, he had definitely improved in his maturity and in the way he carried himself. His rank was in no way indicative of the shinobi he had become. However, Sakura, being their friend, she knew that this was not something that they would want to turn down. As such, she would give Sasuke the leeway and would allow the three to go on the mission to Tenchi Bridge. However, she would give them parameters to not journey too far out, as they were already dealing with some difficulties of going to another land. All the same, Team 7 would be grateful for the chance they were given. And in less than a day's time, they were already preparing and setting off. Kakashi looking out his hospital window as his team left without him. Of course, he would have loved to go if he could, but he had some help. Thankfully, he knew someone that he could trust to follow after them, and with permission from Tsunade, that person would be waiting in the wings, just in case anything happened. The Team 7 would move to Tenchi Bridge at a steady pace. They would arrive with at least a day or two to prepare before the meeting. As they traveled together, Karin would learn more from her teammates, why saving Sakura was of importance, especially to Naruto. Sakura was his first love, and for Sasuke, he had already lost his family once. He didn't want to lose people he cared about anymore, not when he had the power to do something about it. For Karin, she could understand the situation they were both in, especially Naruto, who she had come to love as her own brother, and didn't want to see anything bad happen to the person she had discovered as family. The bonds that she had been forming in the Hidden Leaf meant a lot to her, and so she could understand why one would not want to lose it so easily. Of course, as they arrived, they would go over the game plan for what they were going to do. Sasuke was going to impersonate Sasori. Thankfully, from the few encounters that they had, his Rinnegan was able to identify Sasori in detail down to a T. He could pose as him with the transformation jutsu best, and it would be in character. Both Karin and Naruto would hide in the shadows behind the forest of the bridge, waiting to make their move on Sasuke's order. Before long, the day of the meeting would arrive. Sasuke in his disguise would wait on the bridge as a hooded figure would arrive. It would be none other than Kabuto, the right-hand man for Orochimaru. With that, learning of who the spy was, Sasuke would try to gauge as much information as he could, gaining as much information as he could. However, the meeting from what was supposed to be between allies would appear to be a trap, as Orochimaru would appear behind Kabuto. Kabuto attempting to go for a killing blow against Sasori, who was able to evade. Both Naruto and Karin would arrive, Orochimaru being surprised by the two of them, but the true shock would come when he would see that Sasori was indeed Sasuke Uchiha. A grin would appear on Orochimaru's face, but his eyes would tell another story. If his eyes told the truth, he was afraid in that moment. The idea of facing against him again. Sasuke stood at the ready, his hand on his blade. Orochimaru stepping forward and Kabuto standing to the side of his master. If it isn't our own Sasuke Uchiha, it looks like time has done you well. Our little pup has grown up. Yeah, you still look the same as always, Orochimaru. I guess nothing's changed for you. You're still the scum of the earth you always were. Is our pup wearing his big boy pants today? You got lucky in the forest of death, boy. I promise you, you won't be so lucky again. Where is she? Naruto would ask, his eyes growing feral as he looked towards Orochimaru. The aura of the Nine-Tails starting to shroud him as his eyes turned from their bright blue to a crimson red, the eyes of the nine-tailed fox. Are you asking about the pink-haired one? There was no need for her to join us, but if you're looking for a friend to keep you company. Orochimaru snapped his fingers and instantly a new fighter would arrive to the bridge. A boy with orange hair, his skin turning into a dark gray as his body morphed into that of a monster. Yes, Lord Orochimaru. Jugo, that boy in the orange, he's looking for a fight. I believe you can keep him entertained. Yes, he'll die. He'll die. Bring it! The two would collide on the bridge immediately. Kabuto would stand at the ready, preparing to jump in, but Karin would catch his attention. The two skilled fighters in medical ninjutsu would each ready themselves with their weapon as they engaged in combat. This would leave Sasuke alone with Orochimaru. Orochimaru would grow a bone sword from out of his arm. As he lunged towards Sasuke, Sasuke would immediately pull out his sword as the two would collide. The two would stand in a stalemate, and Sasuke could feel that Orochimaru had gotten stronger. Immediately, Orochimaru would open the sleeve of his shirt, revealing another arm. 6 arms in total, each arm wielding a bone sword. It was 6 blades to 1, as Sasuke had to fend them all off, eventually being pushed to the point where he would have to form a single black chakra rod to fight with his other hand. The two engaging in a play of kenjutsu, Orochimaru wielding 6 blades, each one in hand, Sasuke wielding his sword in one hand and a chakra rod in the other. It seemed as though the blades were moving at 100 miles per second. They were almost impossible to see to the naked eye. If one couldn't tell, it would look as if Orochimaru was wielding over 60 swords, and for Sasuke, it would look like he was wielding over 10. This was the impressiveness of their movement. Orochimaru would finally push back, opening his mouth as a webbing fluid of chakra would go spewing towards Sasuke. Sasuke could see that the webbing was infused with chakra, trying to ensnare him. Sasuke would imbue the blade of his sword with his chakra to cut through the webbing, before Orochimaru would reach with all of his arms down onto the bridge, increasing his brute strength, lifting it right up from Sasuke's foundation, forcing him to flip off of the bridge and onto the ground below, as Orochimaru hurled the bridge towards him. Sasuke would weave the proper hand signs before yelling Earth-style Earth Wall, creating a wall to block away the debris that was thrown his way. As Orochimaru would come barreling in towards him, the two would engage in their fighting once more. Orochimaru with his 6 arms and his 6 sworded bone blades, Sasuke wielding his sword continuously, fending off each and every single strike. As Sasuke would go in for yet another attack, he would create a chakra rod and stab Orochimaru in the foot, keeping him planted onto the ground. He would immediately duck a few of the strikes before moving in from behind, attempting to strike Orochimaru in the back. However, what would greet him would be another face. Another head spewed from Orochimaru's neck as he smiled, Sasuke's blade being caught in the teeth of Orochimaru's mouth. I owe this to my 5 students. Their powers have proved to serve me nicely. Instantly, Orochimaru would create a flute made out of bone. Ninja art, chains of Fantasia. Instantly, 3 chakra creatures, monstrous humanoids, would make themselves known. All 3 of them attacking at Sasuke, and Sasuke attempting to fend off each of the summonings. He was under a genjutsu. However, these chakra beasts, they were real, but they couldn't be defeated with physical attacks, for they were nothing but the manifestation of chakra, and they seemed to be trying to eat away at his. Sasuke would move back to create space, Orochimaru continuing on the assault. In the meantime, Naruto and Jugo would continue their battle. This was no longer a fight amongst ninja, this was just a fight amongst monsters. Jugo giving in to his berserk form, and Naruto going into his 3-tailed state, being more and more uncontrollable as the two would slash and punch and claw at one another. Blood and battered bones spewing all over the forest. It got to a point where even Karin and Kabuto had to stop their fight, because now Naruto was starting to take things to another level. His skin was starting to peel away from his flesh, and instantly he reached into his next state, the 4-tail state. Kabuto became worried, trying to warn Juzo to get out of dodge, but he continued on fighting. Juzo had lost all control, and for Kabuto, he suspected this was what Orochimaru wanted, to have Juzo just go on a complete rampage and brawl with Naruto. However, Naruto was entering a level of power that Juzo simply couldn't keep up with. Karin tried to get Naruto to snap out of it, but she couldn't. He would brush her aside with his tail, knocking her back across the battlefield, and Kabuto couldn't get close enough to stop it. For Juzo, he was nothing but a tool, a mere pawn that met his end tragically. As the Four Tails Naruto, a red amalgamation of darkness, would release a tailed beast bomb. There was nothing left of Juzo, at least from the waist down. From the waist up, he was completely obliterated, along with most of the area behind him. Karin attempted to use the Uzumaki sealing chains to bind and hold Naruto in place. As a full-blooded Uzumaki, her power was able to take a toll on Naruto, but it wouldn't be enough. That was until a member of the Anbu Black Ops arrived. Using wood release, he would help conceal and hold Naruto as he drained away at the Nine-Tails chakra. Karin would be thankful for the assistance, but she had no idea who this person was. The masked shinobi would tell her to stay focused, as he would attempt to bring Naruto back under control. In the meantime, Sasuke and Orochimaru would continue their fight. Sasuke would use every elemental release he had in his arsenal. He would use the summoning of the Rinnegan flying on the back of the hawk. His vision shared with that of the hawk itself, as they flew in the air, avoiding all of the bone shrapnels that Orochimaru was shooting at them. Orochimaru's bottom half had become that of a tail, as he continued to masterfully use all the powers of the Sound Five. You see, Orochimaru believed that the Sound Five had outlived their usefulness, and with help from Sakura, he grafted their Kekkei Genkai, their natural skills, all to himself. Now the powers of the Sound Five were all at his disposal. Imbued with himself and the years of training and experience, he believed this would be enough to turn the tide. However, he would be sadly mistaken. Sasuke would fend off every attack Orochimaru threw at him, and it got to the point where the snake Sannin was starting to become desperate. However, Sasuke would manage to catch him off guard, eventually appearing behind him. Orochimaru attempted for another strike. However, the only words he would hear was Shinra Tensei. Orochimaru would be forced by the pressuring blow down to the ground, a crater being formed around him, his body being crushed by the pressurous wave that Sasuke created. Immediately, Sasuke would stab Orochimaru's arms and legs with chakra rods, disrupting his flow of chakra and keeping him from molding his chakra properly. As Orochimaru looked up, Sasuke would use his hands and usher him forward. Bansho Tenin. Orochimaru was lifted into the air and was pulled towards Sasuke as Sasuke grabbed him by the throat. You! How? You! You're pathetic, Orochimaru. Truly, for one of the Sannin, I expected a lot more. Don't look at me like that! You and those accursed eyes! But I thought you wanted my eyes, Orochimaru. After all, that is why you came after me that way, didn't you? All those years ago, you came after the little brother because you couldn't get your hands on Itachi, now could you? Yeah, I've been doing my research. You used to be a part of the Akatsuki. I guess things didn't really work out. And these eyes, you talk about them like you've seen them before. Now why is that? I wonder. Sasuke would look into Orochimaru's eyes. Let's see what you know. Under Genjutsu, Sasuke would see visions, images, memories. Orochimaru being in the presence of a member of the Akatsuki who had the same eyes as his. So there's someone out there like me. You are nothing like him. Compared to him, you are nothing but a novice. You're not really in the position to be making idle threats, Orochimaru. But it all makes sense now. You tried to go after your leader, but when that failed, you tried to take your chances with Itachi. And when that failed, you came after me. But tell me, where are you going to go now? I think I've made it very clear. The difference in our power is night and day. You and I are as far apart as the earth is to the heavens above. You know nothing about me. But I know everything about you, Orochimaru, Sasuke would say. I can read you like a book. It's all become so clear to me now. What was it in your life? What drove you to this point? You and I aren't so different. Huh? You and I have been affected by tragedy, the cruel fate of this world. We were pushed into situations we never wanted to be in. We were both expected to excel in our fields. We were the prodigies, the ones who would rise above and be the shining example. But somehow you lost your way. You became so obsessed with trying to control everything, only to realize that in life, you ultimately have no control. You think you can be the master over fate. You think if you learn every jutsu that you will unlock everything you ever wanted. I thought the same way. But the difference between me and you is that I am free of such notions. While you will always be a slave. I am Orochimaru. I am slave to no one. But you are. You are a slave to your desires. You are a slave to your fears. Fear is what drove you to this madness. Fear is what drove you to commit the heinous acts that you do. Fear is what's driven you this far, all because you're afraid. What are you afraid of, Orochimaru? I fear nothing. And you're lying. You can lie to everyone else. You can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me. You're afraid. What is it? Are you afraid of death? Are you afraid of the inevitability of the grave? Stop it! You cursed Uchiha! You think those eyes make you so special that you can just see through everything. But you know nothing about me. You know nothing about what I've been through. Nothing about this world. You are a naive, an impudent boy. You think you know it all, that you have it all figured out. But you haven't figured out anything. One day the time will come. It will come when you will lose it all. And tell me, when that time comes, will you be able to stand so smugly as you do now? Because I believe that you will fall like every Uchiha before you. Behind Sasuke, another Orochimaru would attack. The Orochimaru that Sasuke had been holding was nothing more but an illusion, an animated corpse. The real Orochimaru had already shedded his body and was waiting for his moment to strike. Orochimaru, now with a spiraling arm of bone, as he went charging towards Sasuke, he stabbed him in the back, killing him instantly. You should have been smarter. You thinking that you could badmouth me? I am Orochimaru. You act as if you can already see into the future. You're no better than Itachi. Only he was truly wise. And you are nothing but a pale imitation. Is that right? Orochimaru looked up. He would feel an arm on his shoulder as Sasuke leaned in next to him, whispering into his ear. Don't let me stop you. Go on. You were telling me about how I'm just like Itachi. That was your first mistake. Sasuke squeezed on the back of Orochimaru's neck before ripping out his spine. Orochimaru immediately fell to the ground. Before he could use the Kekkei Genkai to regrow his bone, Sasuke would stab him in the back with a chakra rod. First off, don't you ever compare me to him. Because I'm not like Itachi. You wanna know why? Itachi let you live. I won't make that mistake. Sasuke jumped into the air, looking down upon Orochimaru with his hand outstretched. Orochimaru's eyes would widen as he realized what was about to happen. Now be gone, Orochimaru. Shinra Tensei! There would be a loud explosion. And for Sasuke, one of his demons was brought to an end. Sasuke could feel the exhaustion starting to set in upon him. He had used more of the Rinnegan's power than he would have liked to admit, but even still, he was satisfied with the outcome. He joined with Karin and with the masked Anbu as they were tending to Naruto and his wounds, Sasuke looking down upon him and shaking his head. The idiot. Look at what he's done. How is he? It's gonna take time for him to recover. I just don't know what else I can do. He's unconscious, so he can't bite my arm to heal himself. I'm gonna have to work overtime to try to do my best. Sasuke was overcome with emotion. He didn't want to see his friend like this. He knew he had feelings for Sakura, but to think that it would have pushed him to go this far. He wished he could have done something, anything. The manifestation of Sasuke's own will. It caused something to awaken within him. Among them all, a being would appear from the ground, the face of what appeared to be some sort of monster. Its mouth would open, and within it would be what appeared purple flame. What on earth is that? The masked Anbu would say, Karin looking back fearfully. But Sasuke, he felt like he understood. Take Naruto and put him in the mouth. What? Sasuke, what is that thing? Why does it have your eyes? I don't know what it is, but I can trust it. Please. They didn't want to go along with this. They had no idea what the Rinnegan could do, or what it was capable of, or why Sasuke would trust that thing, but he ignored them. He forcibly took Naruto into his arms, dragging the two of them into the mouth of the thing. Before they could be stopped, they fell in. The mouth closed immediately, and both the masked Anbu and Karin feared the worst. However, moments later, its mouth would open, with both Naruto and Sasuke being spewed out in perfectly good health. "What the hell?" Karin would say. "What on earth? What did he do?" "I don't know," the masked Anbu would chime in. "This is beyond the acts of shinobi. This is the act of a god." In the meantime, among the wreckage and the rubble, Kabuto would find him. He moved the chakra rods from his body, and slowly he would recover. However, he had already reached that point. It had been close to 3 years now. It was time for him to take his new host. However, things would not go as Orochimaru expected. As he waited, preparing for the next ritual, he would be attacked. As he sat in his bed, the door would be cut open, and two beings would walk in. "What's the meaning of this?" "I think the time's come, Orochimaru. It's time for you to meet your end, Father." "Father? You? How are you free?" "Why ask questions you already know the answer to?" "Log!" "It's been a long time, Father. Must say, it was getting rather cramped being stuck in that test tube for so long. But you wouldn't know anything about that now, would you? You enjoy trapping things in small, tight spaces. But I wonder how you'll feel when it's the other way around." By the time Kabuto arrived to the scene, all he saw was a large, dead white snake. And standing in the room were two individuals, Sakura and Log. "Hey there, Kabuto," Log would say. "Lord Orochimaru." Sakura would turn to Kabuto as she smiled. "You don't have to worry about him anymore." "But how did you?" "You underestimate me. What did you think I was doing all this time? You thought I was just going to wait and allow myself to become his vessel? No. You could say that I flipped the script." "Then what? What are you going to do now?" "Well, first, we need to make a stop." Sakura, Log, and Kabuto would arrive to one of Orochimaru's bases, finding another individual that was trapped and waiting to be set free. "Ah, man, it took long enough. I thought you were never going to come let me out, Sakura." "Oh, quiet, Suigetsu. I told you to be patient." "Yeah, but still, it was touch and go for a while. I didn't think you'd actually bring that bastard down." "Holy crap, you free Log too?" "Yeah. Well, anyway, what's the next move, Sakura?" Kabuto couldn't believe it. But at the same time, maybe he should. The snake, it had to meet its end eventually. "I assume this is what you want." Kabuto would hand Sakura a book. "You're right. That's exactly what I want. Thank you, Kabuto. You have been a big help to me. With that, Sakura, Suigetsu, and Log would leave the base. As Sakura opened the book, she would reveal everything to them. This is a list of the Akatsuki. They're the ones I want to take down. I see. It's a lofty goal. We're dealing with a lot of S-rank criminals. Where should we start? We'll start with this one. The book would lie open on a page. The first member they were going after. Rogue Shinobi of the village hidden in the mist. Wielder of the Executioner's Blade. A former member of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist. The one known as the Blood Shinobi. Juzo. This concludes Naruto Rebirth, Cycle of Hatred. What if Sasuke got the Rinnegan earlier? Part 6. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we're going to be starting a brand new series here on the channel. I'm not going to reveal what it is today, but I am going to leave it as a surprise. And if you're wondering, no, it's not going to be another Naruto series. I think we've got enough of those here on the channel for now. So tomorrow, we're going to be starting something brand new, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.